Calaroga Shark Media.
Hello, I'm Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news. Last week, both Joe Biden and Donald Trump secured their various nominations. Michael Costa joked, "It's now officially a three-man race between Trump, Biden, and natural causes." Stephen Colbert said, "It feels like if Muhammad Ali fought Joe Frazier now." Seth Meyers commented on Trump discussing possibly cutting Social Security and Medicare. Seth said, "Dude, you're 77. Those should be your favorite things right now. And let's be honest, you could use the cash." The Mark Twain Prize for American Humor will be broadcast on Netflix. The Kennedy Center announced a new multi-year partnership with Netflix. It'll bring the Mark Twain Prize to Netflix. This year's celebration will honor Kevin Hart. It takes place Sunday, March 24th. The show will be recorded and streamed on May 11th, towards the end of the Netflix is a Joke Festival. This year's ceremony is scheduled to include Dave Burr, Lil Dicky, right, interesting, Dave Chappelle, Jimmy Fallon, Chelsea Handler, the Plastic Cup Boys, Jerry Seinfeld, and Chris Rock. Interesting combination there. AL.com as in Alabama.com spoke to Marlon Wayans. He is touring, and he said, "I think the world's going through enough problems. I don't care about politics. I don't care about all the divisive topics. I mentioned some things, but the reality is I talk about me because that disarms everybody, and people can be so sensitive nowadays, but it's not in the comedy clubs. But I feel like for me, my discovery of self as an artist means explore myself, explore my pain, and the deeper I go in there, the funnier I became." His new special is called Good Grief. It'll be out on Amazon this summer, filmed at the Apollo. Good Grief is about dealing with the death and loss of his parents. He says, taking you through this dark journey that's really light, because what you find through all this is the appreciation of your parents, no matter how good or bad they were. Nobody's perfect. But in the special, I embrace what's good, I make fun of what was bad, and I leave them with a smile in my heart and the audience with a smile. Tracy Morgan will headline the 12th annual April Fool's Comedy Jam. When is the April Fool's Comedy Jam? Wrong. It's on April 5th for some reason. This is in the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, where Sting's playing. And I didn't want to go. I mentioned the other day, I'm not paying $290 for Sting tickets. Also, I'm not going to Brooklyn. I was trying to get a different venue. I'm not going from New Jersey to Brooklyn. Are you insane? I'd rather fly to LA and see Sting there. It would actually be easier. I digress. The 12th annual April Fool's Comedy Jam at the Barclays Center, which I won't go to, headlines Tracy Morgan, also stars D.L. Hughley, Bruce, Nephew Tommy, Lonnie Love, DJ Envy, Jess Hilarious, London Brown, Shantae Wayans, Tori Hart, Brian Hooks, Coco Brown, and more. We are told fans can expect an unforgettable night of entertainment, okay? Cracked dusted this one off. I thought this was interesting. Early in Norm Macdonald's stand-up career, he had a routine about dogs that did really well on late-night shows. The joke, "These dogs, they're getting kind of expensive." He goes to a pet store where a high-pressure salesman tries to sell him a $500 pit bull. So the guy goes, "Buy this dog here. It's a pit bull. It would protect your valuables." And I don't have any valuables. If I bought a pit bull, that would be the most valuable thing I own. I'd have to buy something to protect it. I'd be out shopping for Wolverines. My half-assed Norm is even more half-assed than usual. Listen to Saturday's show and you'll understand why. At one point, Norm told Tom Green, Sam Kinison came to Canada. He wasn't famous or nothing. He took a liking to me and took me across the country. It was the greatest time I ever had. I had a good act. Sam said, "You've got good jokes, man. I noticed you talk about dogs. Are you really interested in dogs?" Norm said, "No, I don't give a hoot about dogs." Kinison said, "Why don't you talk about what you're interested in?" Norm said, "From then on, it became death. I don't know what the average person thinks. I think, it's always on your mind. I'll ruminate about it for long periods of time for no purpose or to no avail. It's worthless, except for generating jokes." He said, "I did death material in my stand-up special. Now that's gone, so I can move on. I really just think about stuff for stand-up. I get caught on one subject for a long period of time. Once I've exhausted the subject, I'm free now in my life not to think about death." Norm said, "I'm very, very proud of stand-up. I'm ashamed of almost everything else, like this interview." The Aussies did not enjoy a comedy roast of John Cleese. Yahoo says, despite heavy promotion by the local network on which it aired, the roast of John Cleese was a ratings and critical failure. It got less than 1/3 of the audience that reality series Married at First Sight got. Wow. Viewers expressed their disappointment at the unfunny hour-long show. One person on Twitter said, "We have an enviable climate, but Australians do not do comedy well. The John Cleese roast was a shocker." Comedian Tom Gleason joked, "When I was growing up, I was a big fan of Monty Python, but then again, I was also a fan of Bill Cosby and Rolf Harris, so I'm just bracing myself for the allegations." One viewer said, it's important when you're roasting John Cleese on national TV to actually roast the recipient. I asked ChatGPT to roast John Cleese. They said, John Cleese's comedy is so timeless, even his wrinkles have punchlines. They say behind every great man is a great woman. In John Cleese's case, it's probably his therapist. See, those aren't bad. The Guardian watched the film Sorry, Not Sorry and wrote the outrageousness of what Louis C.K. did is totally lost in the film. Caroline Sue, I hope I'm saying your name right, S-U-H, is a filmmaker, and when the stuff about Louis came out in 2017, Caroline said, my immediate reaction was honestly, is it that bad? In my generation, when we were coming up, we saw a lot of bad behavior, and it was like, that's just the way it is. Shortly afterwards, in a statement, Louis C.K. said, at the time, I said to myself what I did was okay because I never showed a woman my stuff without asking first, which is also true. What I learned later in life, too late, is that when you have power over another person, asking them to look at your stuff isn't a question, it's a predicament for them. The power I had over these women is that they admired me, and I wielded that power irresponsibly. Caroline analyzed her own initial reaction and began to see it as outdated, but she wanted to explore where it came from. She teamed up with fellow filmmaker Cara Moniz to create this documentary. Moniz initially worried about giving Louis a platform, but instead they centered on the women and realized how little most people knew about the backlash. This is interesting. Writer Abby Schachner, The Guardian says, is central to both the film and the original New York Times story after she was subjected to Louis C.K. doing self-stuff during a phone call. Was criticized in a Netflix special by Dave Chappelle. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Chappelle belittles her claim that CK's behavior deterred her from pursuing a career in comedy and says, B-word, you don't know how to hang up a phone? How the F are you going to survive in show business if this is an actual obstacle to your dreams? So the question is always, why did the women react like that? It's never, why did CK do what he did? Caroline says the outrageousness of what Louis did is totally lost in the discussion. Sorry, Not Sorry is on streaming platforms. W. Kamau Bell is doing a San Francisco residency after a 5-year break. The Chronicle spoke to him. He says, it's been humbling because it doesn't come back right away, meaning the comedy. It's 2024 and it's the election. If there's a time for me specifically to be doing stand-up comedy, it's right now. He spends about an hour each week cycling through fresh jokes, riffing on everything from the Folsom Street Fair to emojis and the upcoming election. He marks his notes scribbled on a stack of loose papers that he props up on a music stand next to him. Notaro making the rounds. She's got a special coming out, and as she starts to do press again, I'm reminded the last time she did a press tour for a special, she didn't come across pretty well. Was it with Conan? Somebody mispronounced her last name, and she was kind of like, I don't know. There was a better way to handle it. Really turned me off to her, to be honest. Anyway, she was on with Kelly and Marc Consuelos. Investigative reporter Kelly Ripa said, so you're a mom to 7-year-old twin boys? Tig said, I thought you were going to say 7 children, but yeah, they'll be 8 in June. Ripa said, oh, wow, I always think that having kids is hard. Having 2 at the same time seems to be, like, baffling to me. Do your kids know you? Do they know what you do for a living? Tig said, yeah, they know me. They don't think I'm funny. I'm that person that's like a hack in the house. But they know I do stand-up, and when they see me or anything I'm in on TV or streaming services, they refer to me as Tig Notaro, so they'll see me and say, oh, there's Tig Notaro, there's Tig Notaro. They just scroll right past. TJ Miller spoke to WRKR. TJ has partnered with 2 family businesses for his lines of peanut butter and hot sauce. Did not see that coming. His new comedy album is titled Smooth Peanut Butter. Miller said he loves peanut butter so much and he wanted to make his own, but he needed to find the right partner. Back in 2019, he tweeted about the company Be Happy Peanut Butter, saying it was the best he's ever had. They saw it and flaunted their newfound fan. Within 2 years, the small family-owned Indiana Peanut Butter Company partnered with TJ Miller to produce his own line of custom peanut butters. But wait, there's more. Years earlier, he had made his own line of hot sauces with the Scoville brothers, also a family-owned company in Indiana. He said, I had some of their stuff. I liked it. And they asked me one time if I'd ever be interested in partnering with them, and I was like, hell yes, let's do it. They had 3 different sauces. TJ said his favorite was the TJ's Choice Chipotle hot sauce. You can find all his other sauces, including the one that the article says we cannot say. Oh, I'm going to look on his personal website. TJ said, I'm glad I got to work with these families for these products. All right, let's go to TJ Miller. Okay, I typed in tjmiller.com and I don't see anything, but there's a website called tjmillerdoesnothaveawebsite.com. There's a storefront. Here's some hot sauces. All right, we're getting closer here. We have TJ's Choice Chipotle hot sauce, $20. Extreme Gangster Heat hot sauce, $20. TJ's Diet hot sauce, $20. An autographed hot sauce is coming soon. Those will cost you $30 if you want autographed hot sauce. And the one that we can't say is called effing intense ghost pepper type stuff. Meanwhile, the peanut butter. Toffee crispy, $20. Chocolate cherry, $20. Chocolate coconut almond, and all three peanut butters come with an autograph for just $30. I don't know if this is an official site or not, because it's called TJ Miller does not have a website.com, and the Google slug is welcome to not TJ Miller's website. So who knows? People also ask, did TJ Miller have brain surgery? What? Wait, what? I clicked on it. TJ stated he became more philosophical, narrated his behaviors, and was unable to sleep while filming Yogi Bear in New Zealand in 2010. His brain surgery was successful. Wait, what? What did I just stumble into? And why don't I edit this so I don't sound like an idiot? Wikipedia. Miller described learning about an undiagnosed cerebral arteriovenous malformation on his right frontal lobe on the Pete Holmes podcast. You Made It Weird back in 2011. Wow, that's awkward. Especially because that's the end of the podcast. I guess we're ending very awkward today. See you tomorrow.